Welcome back now, guys. This is part two of my two-part video of working behind the scenes and doing my scenes behind the photo shoot. I really hope you enjoy this. Thank you for coming back and checking out my second one, and enjoy it. Peace. All right. Now, after I get finished sending the link to the model, she'll be able to, I tell her to go ahead and choose the photo she wants me to edit. And she does that by pressing the heart on the link that I sent to her on the website. As you can see, this in the top left-hand corner right here, it's a little heart. That's the way she picks her photos on her end, and then syncs back to me in Lightroom. Now, back in the day, I used to actually do everything through Google Drive, and it was just a headache. I was trying to synchronize things and trying to figure out what she wants me to add and what's not. And when I found a feature that Lightroom was actually already can do this for you, make things a whole lot easier, a whole lot more synchronized, and just everything just a whole lot more easier. So, after she does this, she'll pick the photos she wants. I'll pick the photos that I want, and we end up with 20. As you can see in the beginning, we had like about 300 photos from that set in the beginning. But now we're knocking down to about 20. Like I said, I always tell the model to choose about between 15 photos, and then I will go through and choose some. So they always end up to between 20, 25. Now, the reason why I do that is because of TFP. I like to have the model give a nice variety of photos. I don't like giving out, 5 to 10 photos like some photographers do. I like to actually give them a good, nice amount of photos because we're out there busting up, putting in work out there in the field for an hour and a half. So I want her to have enough content as well as myself to have enough content. So anyway, so that's what I'll do. And that's the reason why we're stuck at 28 right now. So now what I'll do from there is I will go through and hit edits. Now, let me tell you something. The Lightroom did an update probably about a couple updates ago where they absolutely added versions in there. And it's one of the best things that ever happened. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. As you can see right now, some of the photos are already edited. That's because when I'm going through in my elimination process, I will go ahead and start editing photos just because my mind is racing and I want to see the creative feel I got and see how I want the mood of that picture. So I will automatically start editing photos while I'm eliminating. And then I'll do that. And this is one of the photos there, but I also, at the meantime, will create versions. Now let's go back to my point with versions. You click right here. You're able to add, able to do all types of edits, and you're able to save each version of the edit. So it makes it easier for you to come back to it. And when I do sets and TFPs like this, I always like to do 2 to 3 different type of edits looks. I don't like doing my complete edit all the same across the whole entire set. I like to do 2 or 3. It helps the model give variety. It helps me give variety, and just helps my creative feel as well when I'm wanting to be creative. So this is what I'm showing you right now. Is just all the different ones that I came up in my mind that I thought they would look good for this set here. So I'm just gonna go through these. I just got them A, B, and C. So I already know exactly how I'm gonna do each one of these photos. I mean, my type of edits I'm gonna do, I just gotta go through the photos and absolutely do it. But far as that is, I'm gonna show you how I do my edits, after she get finished picking the photos, and then I will start doing my phase 1 edits, which is actually doing the tone and the mood of the photo. So let's go ahead and get right into that. So what I would do is I'll click on the photo here. I will use the presets. I always love using presets. It's the presets that I bought from another YouTuber named Jay Marcus. His style and my style was absolutely very similar. And I went ahead and supported his channel and bought his presets. This makes it a whole lot easier for me because I'm very, very indecisive photographer. I'm very indecisive. So this absolutely helps my process just a tad bit better to going through and just hurry up and click on things so I can see exactly what I want. And then I can just tweak it from there. So like I said, I already done this process. So I already know exactly which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use this PPE New York Volume 1. And I'm going to use all my edits actually from this little set here. So, but the one I'm going to do this show you right now is going to be the New York Glamour one. So after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just start editing. I always start with I don't start my profile. I start with, of course, the exposure. You see it's a little bit darker, so I'm just going to raise it up a tad bit. Of course, I shoot unexposed, but like I said, I'm still not kind of used to what's going on with the Z7 as of right now. And then after I get that, I'm going to go through and choose my profile. I always go to neutral, either portrait. That's one of those two I always use majority of the time, but I do use others. But I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with the neutral on this one. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just tweak it from there. I'm going to bring down the highlights a little bit more. See, I'm going to bring down just the shadows just a tad bit. Mess with the whites a little bit, so therefore I can drop a little bit more of my exposure. Put the blacks up just a tad bit. And I'm gonna drop some whites just a little bit more. And then from there, just gonna take away some of the color just a tad bit. Then I always bump my clarity up to 20. Like I said, this is just a phase 1 edit for me. All the softening of the skin and skin retouches, and I do it in Affinity Photo. So I like to mess with the clarity and sharpen as much as possible, because that's when I'm going to go in and do all my skin retouching and stuff and soften the skin is in Affinity Photo. So all this is just minor stuff. Like, I just know on top of my head, I've been doing this for so long. Oh, that's another thing, color noise reduction. People mess with this. If you're really pushing your files, absolutely don't forget to mess with the color noise reduction. It helps with banding of the colors, and it helps smoothing out those colors. So always use that if you're definitely pushing your files to the limit like I do. Go ahead and cut those on, hit the auto, and I'm pretty much done. So I'm done from here. And what I would do is I'll go in here and create a version, create it, number one, and then I absolutely try to one of them other ones that I had on another photo, and then pop it over here and just see how it look and just go from there. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm pretty much done. So I would hit the model up and I'll be like, yo, let me know how you enjoy, my phase 1 edits. And, this is pretty much the tone and the mood of the photo. If she don't like it a certain way, I always encourage her to tell me, because I want your feed, I want my pictures to reflect your type of feed that you got going on. So I'll always tell them if it's too bright, too colorful, whatever the case may be, if you don't like it that way, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to change it. It's not a big deal to me. But then I tell them some I do want to keep on my own. Definitely the photos that I know, the photos that I choose is the ones I will keep my own edit, my own style. Then the photos that she would choose, those are the ones I'm more frequently to change. And she would do that, and I just tell her, put that in the comment, and she'll be able to do it that way. And then after that, once she tells me everything is good, then we'll just go ahead and go to my final phase, which is going to be in Affinity Photo. And we're going to jump into that right now. As you can see, the reason why we're in Photoshop is because I actually been doing and testing some plugins. Actually, I'm going to show you right now. One of the plugins I've been testing is Portrait Pro, and the other one is Portraiture 3. So I've been testing these programs. I got them about last year. I'm going to have a review video coming out. So this is the reason why I'm in Photoshop. Normally this ain't my normal step, but since I have been testing them out for my last few shoots, I've been using this combination. So you're actually going to get a look at what the combinations I'm getting to in order to edit my photos right now. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. So as of right now, like I said, these are already done. I'm just going to go ahead and just do a brand new one. What I do, I'm going to hit open, go straight to where I just exported my things on my own separate folder. Like you see, it's TIFF right here, 16-bit. I'm going to open that on in. And I'm going to give you like a mini review what I do with these two portraitures. With these two plugins, Portraiture and Portrait Pro. So the first thing I'm gonna do is duplicate a layer. And then I'm just gonna go straight to filter, Portrait Pro. Now, like I said, I'm doing this for review purposes. This is not my real workflow, but like I said, I have been doing this. I've been using this combination for like the last few shoots that you've probably seen over on my Instagram. Maybe on my Instagram, the link's in below. So go look at my Instagram, because Instagram sees it first. Portrait Pro is actually a really good combination. At first, it was kind of hard to kind of manipulate, or use. I ain't gonna say manipulate, but use. But after some testing as well, now I know exactly how to use it and not actually go overboard with it and still make it look natural. So like I said, this is gonna be a little quick thing. I'm actually probably gonna just speed right through this. All right, now as you can see, I'm done with this right now. So like I said, it's real quick. Like I said, I've been practicing. Been using, so I know how to use it. So like I said, I got a review coming on this program now. So once I get through with that, go ahead, click back. It's gonna go and say the changes that we just done. Now that one is done. Now what I'm gonna do is I go straight to Portrait 3. Now I know both of these are pretty much supposed to be the similar plugins, but they're actually totally different. And I'll tell you why I use both of them. Seems like the best results I get is actually using both of them in conjunction instead of using one versus the other. So there I am. Now, once I'm done with this, what I do is I go ahead and merge those two layers together. Look at the before and after, what those two programs just kind of helped me do right there. And then I'll just save as and just save it over the original file. And that's pretty much done. And then from there, I'm gonna go into Affinity Photo. Okay, now we are in Affinity Photo on the iPad. Now, as you can see right here, I've done most of my work already. This is already done, but now I'm going to show you my final process of the last image that we just got finished doing. So what I do is, like I said, from Photoshop, I upload everything up to the iCloud, and everything. I'm just going to run through this real quickly. I've done a video on this a while back. It's description going to be in the link below or up the top, so you can go check it out. So I'm going to come in here, go ahead and download my photos from the iCloud to go ahead and import it into Affinity Photo. So I'm just going to go and fast forward through this. Now, as you can see, the export the importing process is now done. Now, once again, I'm not gonna go through and explain this through detail. I got videos of the tutorial already showing you how I do my editing and my portrait retoucher in here. So this is going to be a whole fast forward experience, and then I'm just gonna come back at the end and just kind of tell you what I do from this end part. Now that's pretty much my retouching the Affinity Photo. Now what I do is go ahead and export it. Like I said, I always work in 16-bit TIFF, but then I always export out of 8-bit TIFF because this is the final image, and I'm not going to do anything else to this. Go ahead and save it back to the iCloud so I can bring it back in, and from there, I will go ahead and bring it back in import it into Lightroom to my external hard drive on my MacBook Pro. And then from there, what I do is, let me go ahead and let that save. And then once I'm done with that, is I will go back to Lightroom. This is her file from the other photos I've already uploaded. What I do from here is I just go ahead and do the same thing I do when I first send it to her when I want her to go pick her photos. But this is a final image, so what I pretty much do is go into these 3 prongs up here, share and invite, cut that on. It's gonna hit the invite thing. I gotta go in here and cut on a couple of things like allow JPEG, so when she gets the link, she can download a JPEG and that's where she would share it. I would like to put a share location on. And then from there, let me go back in here, sorry. Then from there, I would hit get shareable link, cut this back on the invite, everything's cut on. And then I would just go ahead and copy that link and send it right to her. And that will be the end of that. So, all right, now you made it at the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed that little process that I just showed you how I do my typical shoots and edits and interact with the models even after the shoot. So this is more for the fact of after the shoot, really. This is what this is all about. Not more focus on the shoot, but just after the shoot and how I just go through my process. And of course, I did use this nice Nikon and a 1 Sigma. This is a great combination as well. And Melly, how'd you enjoy it?
I love it. So much fun. Cold.
Cold. And of course, all of her Instagram and all that good jazz will be on the screen below, of course, in the description as well. Please hit her up and work with her. You don't know what you're missing if you do not work with her. She is absolutely amazing to work with. Till next video. Next time. Next time? Maybe. It took us forever to even get this video going. Maybe. Anyway, thank you very much. Until next time, peace.